Tunia, other humans aren't your enemy, therefore unite. My dearest brothers and sisters, this is Tunia speaking. I love you so very much. Most people feel that things aren't as they should be, and that this is the fault of a specific group of Earth humans. And they believe that if only this group of Earth humans would start behaving better, then everything would be fixed. So for example, some people claim that Americans or Russians or Jews are the problem, and the world would be fine if only they would stop ruining everything. But the flaw here is, of course, that things weren't fine even back when America, Russia, and Israel didn't exist, and back when those people didn't have any kind of power. None of those groups is the primordial evil from which all other evils sprang forth. Or people claim that communism or capitalism or wokeism or globalism is the problem. Again, awful things were happening before any of those systems were invented. Now sure, some of those things are presently making things worse, but they're not the primordial evil from which all suffering originated. They're not the source of the problem. They're not the actual hole in the ship. Or people claim that white people are the problem. But of course, even back when white people were only located in Europe, non-white people were killing each other on other continents. Or people claim that men are the problem. Well, there are human men living in our Pleiadian society, and our society is utopian from your point of view. So how can human men be the problem? Male babies aren't evil. Adult Earthmen and women hurt or emotionally neglect small boys who then grow up with a hole in their heart. And that's how you get rapists and murderers. And that's also why us Pleiadians don't have rapists and murderers. Our boys don't get hurt or neglected. Instead of asking why are some men bad, consider asking, how can we stop boys from being hurt and neglected and growing up in an anti-masculine society? So, it's not the case that men, or women, or Americans, or Jews are the primordial evil from which all evil originated. I know that some people might be tempted to claim that everything was perfect in a certain previous golden age, say 1950s America, and then everything went to hell. But that's just not true. There hasn't been any recent period on your world where things were good for everyone. Sure, things were maybe pretty good for white heterosexual people living in 1950s America, but that's such a tiny fraction of the total population of your planet. And even in 1950s America, some white heterosexual people got murdered. Even things as common on Earth as war and violence and sexual violence aren't actually natural. There are races out there in the galaxy who have literally never engaged in those acts, not even when they were more primitive, except in self-defense against other races who attack them. You can't imagine the shock and disbelief they felt when they became aware of the reptilian slave empire. So, why are Earth humans killing each other at all? This is a serious question, because it's not actually natural behavior. Some might say that the answer is lack of resources, but Earth actually has more than enough resources for everyone. Do you lack air? Do you perhaps lack water on a planet that is 71% water covered? Do you lack soil for farming in a country where you see hours of empty land as you drive through it? In fact, you lack none of those things. Free energy technology is already present on your world, it's just suppressed. Furthermore, there are races out there who would rather starve than violently take resources from someone else. Because after all, it's natural for beings who are fundamentally reincarnating souls to not be in resistance to death. So then, why are you killing each other? You're killing each other because you have been abused and murdered and raped and eaten and tortured and enslaved by hostile extraterrestrials and demons. That's the actual source of evil on your world. And then you copied their abusive behaviors and started mistreating each other. Or you copied the status and separation and division games of those extraterrestrials. Or you started feeling so unsafe due to their actions that you stopped being open and loving and good towards others, making them feel even more unsafe and yes, as a result of this abuse and murder at the hands of hostile extraterrestrials and demons, you Earth humans developed many types of behaviors that gave you an advantage at the expense of other Earth humans. And that, in turn, turned Earth humans against Earth human. But still, the actual source of the problems on Earth is the abuse that you suffered at the hands of hostile extraterrestrials and demons. And to a much reduced extent, the abuse that you are still suffering today. So for example, a group of humans might decide, we together form this tribe or country, and we will conquer and murder others to improve our position. Or a group of humans adopt an ideology that helps them and hurts others in a more subtle way. And then of course other people will point at them and say they're evil, they're the problem. But they're only harming others in the first place because way back hostile extraterrestrials and demons were murdering you, making you feel very unsafe and defensive, and like you need to victimize other Earth humans to protect yourself. And while most hostile galactics on your world have been dealt with, even today there are still some people being hurt or killed by hostile extraterrestrials. These hostile extraterrestrials and demons are the actual source of evil that should be addressed, not other Earth humans. Deal with the hostile galactics, and release suppressed abundance and healing technologies, and Earth humans will stop killing each other soon enough. And sure, there are a small handful of Earth humans who are working for hostile extraterrestrials and who are trying to keep these technologies suppressed. We have called them dark controllers in the past. And sure, these Earth humans should be held to account. The Grey Hats are working to hold them to account, albeit in a significantly slower way than we would like. The dark controllers are a quite diverse group. They're not uniformly men, or white people, or Jews, or Chinese, or whatever. So it doesn't make sense to point to men, or white people, or Jews, or Chinese, or whatever, and act that they're the group from which all evil originates. Even if most dark controllers are men, which is true, that doesn't mean that most men are dark controllers. That isn't true. So it doesn't help to try and fight men, or fight any other kind of easy-to-identify group. Instead, realize that the fundamental problem is that you have been invaded by hostile extraterrestrials long, long ago. And it's time to take your planet back. Now, average civilians shouldn't grab a shotgun and try to go find hidden reptilians on your world. Leave that to Earth human and Pleiadian soldiers, some of whom actually are fighting reptilians on your world right now, often underground. What you can do instead is transcend the evil that has been visited upon you by looking inside, doing your own work, healing. And then eventually releasing all barriers that stand between you and universal love and unity consciousness. Probably your calling in this life isn't to shoot a reptilian in the face. Instead it is to rise above the evil that has been done to your ancestors long ago. You beat hate with love, you beat darkness with light, you beat unconsciousness with awareness. And as you're doing your own work, it is good to not demonize other groups of Earth humans. Yes, certain groups and certain ideologies really are a net negative, but they're just having an unconscious reaction to the age-old extraterrestrial invasion of your world. Furthermore, you probably don't have the authority to arrest people, so it doesn't help to excessively focus on people who are doing destructive things. I know it's tempting to think that if you tell wrong Earth humans that they're wrong, that they'll stop being wrong. But that's not actually how it works. If a person who is wrong is told that he is wrong, usually he will just dig in his heels and become even more stubborn. So either focus on your own growth, or if you feel drawn to improve society, create new and better structures rather than just criticizing things. Just criticizing things without offering a clearly better alternative isn't actually helpful. Widely known, off-the-shelf solutions that nonetheless aren't implemented probably actually aren't great solutions, as evidenced by the fact that they haven't been implemented. So pushing for them probably isn't very helpful. For example, if you think that the solution is just creating a libertarian or communist society, then probably that is not going to work, at least in the current context, because if libertarian or communist society actually was the solution, then it would have been implemented, and it would have worked already. And if you want to argue that in fact these things are the solution, it's just that people are too corrupt or flawed to maintain these systems well, that by itself might be the critical flaw in the system, at least in the current context, and with the current level of consciousness. and the easiest contribution that you can make to increasing the level of consciousness on your world is to go and raise your own. Instead of fighting the bad people, instead of pushing for some known ideology, go inside. Then eventually you will find your path, and you will discover a way in which you can help the situation on Earth, if you so choose. Ultimately, the evil on your world didn't come from other humans. Ultimately, it came from hostile extraterrestrials. And you will beat them not by infighting with other Earth humans, not by pointing at and blaming other Earth humans, but instead by going inside and healing your own pain first. Anytime you want to point a finger outwards, look inwards instead. And after you have healed your own pain, go and embrace your brothers and sisters, for you are one. Even if some of your brothers and sisters may currently be confused, they are still worthy of love, and you are still one. Go and create an environment that your reptilian invaders can tolerate, which is an environment where you love and listen to each other. With that, and with all my love and respect, I will leave you for today. I wish you a very good week. Your star sister, Tunia. The 9D Arcturian Council, the 11/11 energies and what they'll do. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We have some very good news for all of you there on Earth. As always, help is on the way. You are undoubtedly aware of the 11/11 date on your calendar, and you know that November 11th brings with it a portal that you can receive energies through. The energies coming to you now are for support and to assist you in stabilizing yourselves on all levels and in all possible ways. We are talking about mental and emotional stability, of course, but we are also talking about aligning your chakras, aligning all of your bodies, and aligning you to the help of Mother Earth that is coming up from her core. This is a very delicate time for so many of you, and it is a time where you're doubting things that you've learned, and you're calling into question when ET contact will occur, and whether it even will occur, and that is why it is so good that you are the ones who are open to receiving energies from the likes of us, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, and all of the beings that you know of who are showing up to help humanity at all times, and in all possible ways. We recommend that you stabilize yourselves in all the ways you know how to go outside, connect with Mother Earth, connect with Mother Nature, connect with your sun, open yourselves up through meditation and relaxation exercises, engage in self-care, hydrate, ground in your physical bodies, and then open up to these 11/11 energies that will further stabilize you and help ready you for what is to come next. Those of you who are the most distraught at this time are the ones who are being called into active duty. You are the ones who are capable of doing the work on yourselves, and you are the ones who are equipped to help your fellow humans in all the ways that they are not being helped by the powers that be. And so, instead of just relying on a solution to the world's problems coming from someone else, you are being asked to be that solution, to be that stable force, and to be the way showers and light workers that you were born to be. As you anchor in the energies of 11/11 through the giant portal those energies are coming in through, you are doing so for everyone on Earth, everyone throughout the galaxy. You are doing so because you know that change starts with you, and this is a month of transformation. This is a month of great change there on Earth. It can all be changed for the better if you all show up in the ways that you know how to. As those who are awake, you do have a certain responsibility to lead, and when you take care of yourselves and you stabilize your energies, and you align your chakras, you receive all the inspired ideas, and you feel ready to act upon them. That's what's most important in these times of uncertainty. It is time for you all to rely more heavily on yourselves and what you can access when you stabilize your energies with the help of this 11/11 portal, and with the help of all of us who exist in the higher realms and who will not leave any of you behind. This is a universal ascension, and when you are on the leading edge of it, you do understand that there is still more ascending of the human consciousness to be done. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The Creator's spiritual warfare. Has the light defeated the dark? We are here for you. We are the Creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. You are not in the midst of spiritual warfare. We do not even agree with the idea of spiritual warfare. We do not agree that it is possible to have spiritual warfare. We are spirit, and we are of the light, and we would never seek to defeat the dark. We do love the dark, we embrace the dark, we have compassion for the dark, we send healing to the dark, but we do not even need to forgive the dark, because we have never condemned the dark to begin with. Therefore, we who are of the light would like to state with great clarity that there has never been a need to defeat the dark, and that there is no victory over the dark to be had. Now, any darkness that you see outside of yourselves, you also contain within yourselves, because in order to experience something, you must be of the vibration of that thing. So as much as people want to put everything out there outside of themselves, and label it, and possibly even judge it, and defeat it, we have news for you. It's not outside of you. You cannot claim separation from anything that you can perceive. And even if you can say, but I would never do that, it does not eliminate it from your experience of your reality. This is 100% your reality, and you are creating it, and any darkness that you perceive, you may need to forgive because you have already condemned and judged and put into a box that which you would label dark. And so, it is up to all of you who identify as being of the light to embrace that which you call the dark, and to give up on this idea of spiritual warfare once and for all. There is no such thing. As you recognize that what is coming up right now is coming up to be seen, to be acknowledged, and to be healed, then you are acting on behalf of the light. You who are the light workers are meant to do the work on yourselves first, and that is why you are not on the easy path. That is why things aren't all working out the way you would like them to, and according to some plan that you feel you set into motion a long time ago. We know that it's hard. We know that there is suffering. And there is struggle, and there is pain, and there are people crying out to be released from all of it. And we also know that you have your biggest breakthroughs when you reach those points where you are crying out. We know that there is no source of darkness, and you cannot possibly be enveloped by the dark. We know that no one's light has ever been extinguished, and we know that as we shine our light upon you, the light that is within you shines brighter. And that's what you are there to do. Shine the light brighter, and invite those who have been playing in the dark to join you in the light. It may be very, very difficult for you to accept someone who has done harm to others as being a part of the human collective, a part of the collective consciousness, but they are, and you are there to unite. You are there to light the way, and we are here holding our vibration, and sending the light that we send to help. It's not a hierarchy. We are not lighter than you are, or better in any way. We are playing different roles in different realities at the same time, but we are all of the light. Anyone and anything that you can perceive is of the light, and they may play that role of one who has allowed more of the dark to dominate the consciousness, but that is all pretend to produce the shadow, and to give the light something to know itself against, and you are the ones who are ready for this message. You are ready to not only hear it, but also to act accordingly. And we know that. We are the creators, and we love you very much. Source: arrayoflight.com. The other videos are in the English video playlist. Help me spread the light. Click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.